Hey, hello, welcome back, Alexandrian Codex. Hearts of Iron 4, The New Order. The year is 1972, and before we get started, I thought I knew about Michael Harrington, and I couldn't figure out why. I know about Michael Harrington because he was a founding member of the Democratic Socialists of America. I know I've heard of this dude before. Yeah, very interesting character. Very interesting. Yeah, so where did we leave off? Oh god, I was probably doing something that I said I'd forget, and I was probably right about that. So we need more APCs, more helicopters. We're working on the APCs. Should I start another line of this? Nah, that'll probably be fine. Right, we need that many because I'm popping out a bunch more. I played around as Germany yesterday. Jesus, it's difficult to win as Speer. It's the reformist Speer. It's insanely difficult. I managed it, but good God. Honestly, I don't think I'm gonna stream or record the German campaign. It's a little, I don't know, it's very uncomfortable, and nah. I'll pass on that. Why do I need chromium? Is it for, oh, I don't know, the battleships I'm producing, possibly? In part it is. No, in its entirety it is. Okay. Hey, could give it to South Africa, who's a member of our coalition. Yeah, sure. Right. The oil crisis. Yeah, that's a thing. Right, I just switched this up because they eat up too many supplies to be in the same place. We wrapped up a war in Iran, installing the Democratic Republic. That's right. Here's 72. God, it's not 62 again, Alex. Not starting a whole new campaign. All right, we're researching all of these. Dope. Is this ahead of time? That is 7 years ahead of time. Yes, that is very ahead of time. All right, that's all ahead of time. How we doing on the APC techs? Still ahead of time, which means that the artillery is ahead of time. Yep. Land doctrine's done. Naval doctrine. We could pivot and start researching ships. That's right. Helicopters are up to date. Light aircraft are up to date. Heavy aircraft up to date. Air doctrine done. Engineering mostly up to date. I can get better radar. That's tempting. Industry is up to date. I could get more fuel. No, I'm okay. I'm pretty okay. We extract over 1,000. I export 873. We have none left for export. Oh no, I'm not exporting any. Nobody's buying any of our oil. Okay. Well, fine. I guess I'll go after this. Yeah, I want this for the better radar. And then we'll research ships and put the better radar on the new ships. Yeah. Unemployment managed. Right, if I recall, I was going for some vaguer policies to not increase fatigue and not piss anyone off, just to try and win back some public favor as I'm saving up political power to cause problems for the bourgeois. Yeah, this will improve relations with the middle class. Love it. Tackle abusive practices. Our founding fathers secured this nation as one of freedom, equality, and liberty. Why then are these very concepts crushed daily by the boot of lopsided employer-employee relationships? Though it's hardly as far as we must go to really free the workers of America, for now, we can at least seek to crush overtly abusive practices. So we'll probably be able to reduce a little bit this year. Alright, you're working on that. Yeah, I know I have a bunch of ships available. These are no longer ahead of time. I can get better torpedo launchers, but frankly, I don't even use torpedoes on anything except for... submarines, and I'm not even producing submarines. Though... what do we got? Better depth charges, better sonar. Alright, we'll start out with sonar, because I can put that to good use. I think that rather than producing new ships, what I'm going to do... set this to just one. It's a convoy. Really, I'm just making convoys and one battleship, huh? Alright. I think what I'm gonna do is tedious, but overdue. And that is rework the designs of every ship that we have in service. And refit our entire fleet. The presidential election season has begun. And the Class 2 Senate. So yeah, now's the time for trying to win the favor of the American people and not pissing them off. I really want to win that re-election. With this Michael Harrington fellow. Where do we want to campaign? Well, the Deep South has 3 toss-ups. Good God. The Upper South has 4. Why am I seeing this twice? Oh, this is the presidency. Yeah, I'd rather pay attention to the presidency. Deep South has 3 here and a bunch of seats. Yeah, fuck it. Let's push the Deep South. And we want to boost Harrington's popularity, so we want to intensify persuasion efforts to decrease fatigue. We want to reduce the influence of the bourgeois to reduce their influence. Because right now the middle class are the most influential, and we're trying to win them back with some of the work we're doing. I feel vaguely positive about our chances here. Vaguely positive, yeah. New support weapons, that's fine and dandy. Back to boats, getting more sonar, getting depth charges. You unlocked the new ship batteries. Yeah. This is a year for boats. Man, no one's drilling anymore. How bizarre. Alright. Establish the Job Corps. This will piss off the rich more, but improve relations between the White House and other America, and reduce the poverty rate. Food stamp program. Popularity in rural states, popularity in urban states. This will increase public fatigue, though. Okay, we have March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Maybe 8. Maybe 8 focuses. Now, I've realized not all of these are 30 days, they're 28, so we might be able to squeeze in a 9th. But let's budget for 8. I don't want to do building the safety net then, because that will increase public fatigue. I think we go down food stamps, because I can't... These don't seem like they'll piss people off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm wary about this because of the fatigue, but 5 minimally. Then maybe this, 6, if nothing better pops up. Yeah, let's start with the food stamp program. American presidents of the past have continuously attempted to deal with the issue of starvation within our nation, but the facts remain. Millions of Americans endure extreme working conditions in order to support themselves and their families. Yet statistics show that some do not get to eat before going to sleep for work the next day. This includes American fathers, mothers, workers, children, and even veterans of the Second World War. This is unacceptable. It ought to be a priority to pass legislation to make sure each get the chance to feed themselves, even if they cannot afford it by normal means. This means drafting the program and moving on to larger obstacles, such as raising the eligibility to enter the program and focusing on how these great Americans can ensure that they are fed. What's going on right now? One war. That's it. Yeah, just this endless war in Siberia. I think both of them have ground themselves to a halt fighting. Ah, yes, the anarchists and the authoritarian socialists. Enemies as old as time. Like Scots and other Scots. Alright, an uninspired campaign. Retro. I don't love that. I do not love that. Food stamp program is done. Target hotspots of hunger. Though our program has been pieced together, there's still a huge hurdle to get past in legislation. Focusing on how and where to get food stamp program will take effect in order to guarantee that Americans can not only obtain food stamps, but use them too. Supermarkets have hit a golden age in suburban American culture. It's time for the government to capitalize on their success and implement a program heavily in supermarkets, allowing Americans as a whole to succeed without starvation. Though opposition reigns in Washington and a large number of Democrats and the Republican Democrats and their fellow rightists in the MPP find our plans to reach out to the market as being too radical. It's what our administration must do to ensure Americans can stay happy and healthy. Okay, where did they campaign? Did they campaign at all? Because I only saw that we had a messy showing. Still looking like the upper south is where I should focus. No, let's give it a go. We have a small lead in a bunch of places, and a small lead, as we saw last time, apparently doesn't mean that you'll win, but I'd rather go after the, easy ones to grab. Alright, we got sonar. Do I want nuclear cruisers? Not really. Better torpedoes? Yeah, you know, wait a minute. This is a... Yeah. Give me better torpedoes. Free dockyards, huh? What am I researching right now? Yeah, we're not ready for new ships yet. How long would this take to pop out? Better part of a year. That's fine. That's fine. Let's see where we can get started. Start with you. And what class of destroyer is this? The Gearing class. All right. Go to our destroyers. Go to... Nope. Our actual destroyers. Yep, there are Gearings. Gearing. And we'll call this the 72. These Gearings can be upgraded with modern anti-submarine warfare. They can have their batteries switched over to dual purpose. They can have much better engines. better torpedoes, better sonar, which it seems they're using, better fire control systems, and much better anti-air. Alright. Let's update some shitty boats. Oh man, if is there any way to just show me filter gearing? Nope. Destroy. Okay. Yep. God, this is a micromanagement heavy feature. Paradox, I'd really like to be able to be like, hey, this design, every ship of this design, switch it out. Subs. Everybody. Yeah, these are Lafayette, so look at Destroyer Tier 1. Yeah. Let's upgrade all the gearings. And then we'll work our way up, and it'll probably take, just the rest of time to get this done. At this rate, but that's okay. This way, we're not spending manpower on more ships, but we're still improving our navy. And if anything, we're saving lives by improving the ships that we already have. Alright, you don't have any gearings. Do you? Oh, these are flowers. These are gearings, yeah. My God, the difference between the blue and the green is so hard to tell. That's a gearing, that's a gearing, that's a gearing, that's a gearing, that's a gearing. Upgrade. There we go. Gearing. Get refitted. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, that's a Flover. Upgrade that later. Not today, friend. Not today. Watch there be a way to just do this en masse that I'm just not aware of. Bum, 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 bum. If that's the case, well, I'm gonna feel a little foolish. But seeing as the UI is not presenting me with a more obvious option, I'm going to assume that I'm right, and this is just not a very friendly user experience at all. Granted, in base Hoi 4, you don't normally roll up to a nation with a fleet quite this large. You get some big ones, but not this big. Not at the beginning of the game. Flover. Bum 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 ba-da-ba-bum. So yeah, I'm in a great mood today, as I think plenty of Americans are. Some good shit. Good shit. Last night was a very fun time to be on leftist Twitter. Or leftist Twitch for that matter. Very fun time. It's a small glimpse into what it must have been like to be a leftist after Mussolini was put on meat hooks. Just small window into, oh wow, this is just amazing. By the time this is on YouTube, this conversation's gonna be gonna be a little dated, so we won't dig too into it. Now, I really suspect that it's entirely possible, it's even likely, I'll go so far as to say, that we will go the rest of the game without needing these ships at all. Oh, good God, this is hard to do. I want to click that skull, thank you. Oh, it doesn't even have any gearings. Alright, neither does that. Nor does this. Nor does this. Okay, we're on to the second fleet. God, could I just... There's not any way. Right, let's check the... No. Man. How frustrating is this shit? There's not a smoother way to do this. Okay, convoys, we're done with you for now. I have many of you. Many, many, many of you. We are just pumping out gearings. Yep, and these are gonna take only about a month each. God, it's taking so long to click through individually, but when everything's said and done, this really won't take all that long to do. Well, that's for the best, because hopefully in a month we can upgrade our next design, and oh my God, this is hell. This is... Click this tiny icon, and then shift-click all of these, because you can't just select everything of the same type. You have to click, 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 and then refit. Bop, 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 bop. That's a flowover. Shouldn't have selected that. Refit. Okay. Gearing, 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 gearing. Well, you know, after this is done, we're gonna have a fleet that's... fleets that are deal significantly more damage to submarines than before. Deal a noticeably more potent degree of anti-air damage. Our screens will be faster. Our destroyer screen, anyway, will be faster. And I think our sub detection gets a lot better. Yeah, because I upgraded the sonar and all of these. Interestingly, I don't have... Yes, I do. No, I don't have the tech for that sonar done, but I'm still able to use it. Don't know why that is, but I'm choosing to not look that gift horse in the mouth right now. Just gonna take it for what it is and be happy about it. Bum, bada, bum, bum. Yeah, man, there must be some section of the Paradox fanbase that just absolutely love Navy Simulator. Navy Logistics Simulator. But, it ain't me. It is not me. It's like this level of detail is... It'd be like if you could only upgrade divisions individually, you had to go into each individual division and upgrade them that way. That's essentially what I'm having to do here. I can't say, hey, all of these designs are now this, and everything with that design should go in for a refit. Right, there's nothing in the design here that I can say refit all, or select all of this design, or anything like that. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. And really, I should not have clicked out there to illustrate my point. I was just trying to make sure I wasn't wrong, because if I was wrong and there's an easier way to do this, tell me. Tell me so I never have to suffer like this again. Y'all got some flovers, okay. No gearings, just flovers. Alright. Okie dokie. Looks like more flovers. Mines. Mine patrol. Alright, the mine patrol groups don't have any. These are all just submarine task forces, so I was actually done. I think. Watch me have missed one. Well, if I do... If I had, I'll catch it later. Hopefully. Yeah, so that'll keep our Navy... our production lines busy for a while. Yeah, for quite some time, really. I'm building military factories on the coast. You know what? Let's walk that back. We have plenty of military factories right now. Inland, I'm okay with burning those, but let's save it on here. And then we got a shit ton of consumer factories coming in. All right, happy to see that. Polls have been updated. We'll take a look at that when it's relevant. But I should probably just keep campaigning in the usual places. How the hell have the leaders of the United States let it get so damn hot up here, Harrington thought, looking out the windows of the Oval Office. Finally, Maureen Neuberger and Orville Freeman came through his door with their usual greetings. But Harrington felt the cynicality coming down on him, as he knew how meetings with the two opposing secretaries typically went. That being said, work had to be done. And a large stack of papers detailing the effects and legislation of the food stamp program bill was not going to pass itself. 3 politicians went to work, diligently going through the process of examining the bill. With each line came another comment from one or the other. In each paragraph came another argument. Till finally the elephant in the room came crashing down on the desk between them, the targeting and focus of the food stamp program. President Harrington, with all due respect, we need this bill to go above and beyond what the United States history has done for the hungry in the past. Supermarkets are exploding across the country. It's common logic offering food stamps to be used in such huge markets will guarantee that the poor and hungry can get something to eat. They need this, Mr. President. Besides, we ran on a campaign of guaranteeing these people food. We'll be the laughingstock in the National Progressive Party if we don't commit to this. Senator Freeman hammered out. And what about the markets, Orville? You think they'll feel righteous in handing out their profits to the needy? Mr. President, I assure you, I want these people to be fed as much as any. Forcing the free market to go too far may result in them firing back and withdrawing any support for our re-election, even for the MPP as a whole. We must act cautiously. Sir, in committing everything to this will not be helping the matter. Harrington dwelled on the arguments. We never said every supermarket had to. Won't we prove the rest of them right if we back down now? Other America, working class will like us more, middle class will like us less, support will increase, and the MPC, never said every supermarket had to. Nope. I haven't compromised yet. I'm not going to compromise now. I know I picked this to not decrease fatigue. But, well, that moment's passed, hasn't it? I'm just going to eat that. Let's establish the Job Corps. At least I know this is safe. Every American deserves a solid opportunity to learn important skills, join the workforce, especially our young people. President Harrington plans to create a Job Corps to teach young Americans from the ages of 16 to 24 the value of good work. They'll spend half their time working in national parks, help maintain and improve said parks, and the other half improving their basic academic education and job-specific vocational training. In this, we can make sure a new generation of Americans get the same, if not better, opportunities than their parents. Alright, it doesn't matter what I'm building, because we're not really building anything right now. Solid MPP campaign, alright. Ford debuts the Mustang II. Trends rise and fall as shifts in tastes shift with times. From this, America's muscle cars are no less exempt. Where a decade ago horsepower and size were prized qualities of the American car owner, today, now they're seen akin to the white elephants of Thailand. Delights to view from afar, but pains to afford and maintain. The oil war and hardships it brought to America, America's tastes have finally shifted in full towards fuel economy and cost. Now venerable Mustang would have suffered the same fate as its fellow burdensome beasts were it not for the haste of its parent company's engineers. Plans were made in Dearborn to accommodate gasoline rations, reining economic slump into their car's design. Lengths and widths cut short, gas-guzzling V8s replaced with compact i4s, and frames modified to reduce noise and vibration as its dimensions shrink. Drawing from their failures with the Pinto, Ford set out to effectively downsize their flagship muscle car into a form suiting the American family's increasingly tight purses. The end result is the second-generation Mustang, or the Mustang II, released with aplomb today. Seemingly satisfied with this compromise between economy and style, men with means have gone out to purchase Ford's new old car in droves. Analysts estimate that the Mustang II orders will reach more than 400,000 by New Year. Hopefully foretelling Ford's greatest successes will continue succeeding for another decade yet. We'll see about that. We will see about that. Right, I should probably campaign in New England. We have 5 toss-up seats in the Deep South. New England is a bunch of small leads. No, East Coast we have strong leads. Strong leads for the president of the East Coast. Alex, you wrote down which ones are important. Yep, and now we'll just move that notebook slightly closer to me here. Great Lakes. Right, they're our number 2. How are the Great Lakes? We have a small lead in the Great Lakes. Let's lock that down. Let's go to the Great Lakes and try to turn that small lead into a strong lead. Our divisions in basic training, that's perfectly okay. Hold up. Yes! 3 more? Good God, you'll love to see it. Alright, hell yeah. 3 more airborne divisions. That is delightful. Delightful. Better industrial expertise. We're now innovative industry. Is innovative industry the best? No, not quite. Yes. Yes, it is. Nice. Don't have cutting-edge equipment yet, but innovative industry, it's very, very nice. Very nice. You'll love to see it. Establish a job corps. Okay. Can't build the safety net. Oh, we're trying to pass another bill right now. All right. Discuss increasing eligibility. Now that the framework for piecing together the food stamp program has been established, we need to tackle another obstacle in our path. Dozens of seats in Congress, whether it be Democrats amongst the Republican-Democrat Party or the far-right branch of the MPP, would be far too reluctant to allow a piece of legislation powerful enough to extend to all hungry Americans. Thus, we must be able to manage between solving the crisis and making the program digestible to those begrudging members of Congress. No matter what, it'd be dishonest to claim we're the champions of freedom and inequality with the government. Champions of freedom and equality, not inequality, with the government not providing to those afflicted with the dark shadow of starvation. Even if we must fight it out in the Capitol, it's our responsibility as Americans to ensure that far more of our hungry citizens are eligible for the food stamp program, one way or another. Sweet advanced cruiser. I didn't do it for the cruiser. What I did it for were these sweet new anti-ship missiles. Mighty fine. Mighty fine. Mighty fine. Oh my god, we have a lot of ships to go through. Yeah, this is gonna take at least the better part of a year. Polls have been updated. We'll check on that when it's relevant. Solid MPP campaign. Delightful. New torpedoes. Great. Do I just improve torpedo reveal chance? I mean, this is passive. I'd rather lock down blueprints right now, but it looks like we have locked down blueprints. Let's take a look at anti-air. Yeah, anti-air 1970. Need to grab this so we have better AA for our ships. Yeah, so those gearings aren't not exactly going to be top of the line, but that's okay. With bills come a price. President Harrington took a deep, long look at the piece of paper in front of him. Detailed analysis of hunger within American society, and not the hundreds, nor the thousands, but the millions of Americans afflicted with starvation every year. The demographics affected, the institutional obstacles, everything. Filled with disgust, Harrington picked up the phone on his desk and pressed a number. Please get Maureen and Orville in my office immediately. Two secretaries walked in just a few minutes later, seeing the president with a heavy stack of paper sitting in front of him. "Good morning, Mr. President," said Maureen Newberger. "Morning as well, Mr. President. May we be of some assistance?" An inquisitive Orville Freeman echoed behind her. "Good morning to the both of you. Please take a seat. We have much to discuss regarding this piece of legislation." Next hour and a half consisted of arguments filled with yells that could be heard throughout the West Wing. Newberger, look at the statistics. Hunger is up in America by 13% since the Agaki Accords. That's not even considering black citizens. This program has to be eligible for everyone. Whether it's workers, mothers, veterans, all of them are starving out there, Orville barked. "I understand, Orville, but our hands are tied for the most part. Our economy's been thrown for a loop for the longest time. Getting these hungry people food will have to be maintaining a stable economy, unless we seek to get rid of all of our food. All of them ought to be taken care of, but I'm not sure if we can afford to include everyone in the program. Destitute, of course, but it's tough beyond that, Mr. President Harrington. Sure you understand." Harrington took a deep breath, took a deep look. I don't know how you take a deep look at someone, but okay. And both of his secretaries. He wanted the food stamp program to reach all Americans, but Maureen was not completely wrong, sadly. "You gotta work with us here? Maybe we can find a compromise. So this will... Republican and Democrat support. Don't care about that, honestly. Relations with working class and other America will improve. Support will increase. Maybe we can find a compromise. It looks fine to me. Or we can just say, calm down. We only have so much. This will increase public fatigue even more. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm not compromising on any of these, and I'm just doing what I can. Is it risky? Yes. Is it brazen? Perhaps. Establishing government food banks. America's a nation of almost 200 million people, and America is hungry. Almost 1 in 5 Americans live in hunger. If a government's duty is to protect its citizens, then something must be done. Wow, Jesus, the grammar of this is horrible. Almost 1 in 5 Americans live in hunger. If a government's, this is the wrong form of than, it should be THEN, not THAN. The only way government Harrington sees it, the government owes its people a few basic things. And the most sure way to give citizens what they're owed right now is to establish a series of federally run food banks, making sure that even the hungriest of Americans knows that they can always find food safety and security. Safely and securely is key to the Harrington presidency. Alright, so the Rockies, we have a strong lead. West Coast, we have a small lead in California. Might want to follow up on that. Still a small lead in the Great Lakes, but we have a strong lead in the entire East Coast. That's great. Deep South is going to be hard not to crack. Are any of these important states? 8, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, well, total, the Upper South consists of quite a bit, but I'm kind of resigned to losing it. We can't push the Great Lakes again. I might want to push the West Coast. Just to lock down California? Yep, I'm doing that. Let's get California to a strong lead. Now, I know we need some people to cross the party aisles here, but if I get half of Republicans, that should be enough to get this to pass. And a quarter of Democrats, even. But we'll see. We'll see. Ooh. 7 of 27 Republican senators support the bill. None of the far right support it. So I'm gonna have to push on the Republicans here a little bit. Well, good thing I've been saving up political power. Maybe it'll pass without them, but I doubt it. Let's wait until this is done. I didn't think that'd be the end of it. No, I'm doing that again. Shit. Wow, the autosaves are that infrequent, huh? God, I have to start entirely over. Or we just take the L. Man, god damn it, this is a frustrating system. I checked on it to see if there was a timer on it. And it didn't show a timer. I should have recognized that this would have been the end of it. Oh God, help me. Okay, I could reload the focuses entirely. Well, even if I did that... Oh my god. This is why we have autosave on monthly, Alex, not on every 6 months. Yeah, but then I forgot to switch it back after I switched it to 6 months. Listen, I'm not gonna reread all of that. We're just gonna speed through, catch back up to where we were. I'm not going to fix the Navy this time around. We're just gonna burn through this here. Gonna burn through this as quickly as possible and just do exactly what I did last time. Yep. God damn it, that's so irritating. Is I had a feeling that was a thing. But there's just so much fucking text in this mod that I honestly don't read all of it anymore. It's exhausting. It is utterly exhausting to read all of it. It's interesting, but it borders on too much. And at times it really blatantly is too much. Alright, Navy this, Navy that, Navy this, Navy that. Oh, I should have researched the prereqs first. It's fine. It's fine. We'll do things in a slightly different order. Last time, that's okay. Importantly, Alex, we go to game options. We go to game. This monthly. So if I make a stupid misclick like that again, or no click, thinking that, well, there's no timer on this. Maybe I have until the end of this tree. Nope. All right. Where did we focus? We focused on, like, the Deep South last time. Yeah. Let's see. California isn't locked down. Great Lakes aren't locked down. Let's do Great Lakes, California, lock those down, get them to strong. Then we'll pivot on to something else. Give me better improved anti-air equipment. Thank you. And we'll go over here, start to poking around with this, and then we'll go in here. There's nothing to do in 1970. Good. I mean, I could grab that, but no. We could get better. Do I need any of these? Do I want any of these? No. And our APCs are up to date? Yeah, good. So it's just boat times. Boat times forever. Great. Now I remember once this army's done reinforcing that I will start making some more airborne divisions, just like last time. We might see a little bit of variance compared to what we had before, but that's okay. We'll do Job Corps first. I'm still going with no compromise. I'm just giving us time to save up some political power to 100 so I can force that bill through. Well, force. Gently push that bill through. Softly encourage that bill through. But really the reason I went down this was to avoid that kind of division. Hey, solid MPP campaign. But it's a choice I made, and, you know, hindsight's 2020. So I'm still gonna do the suboptimal thing I did last time, because I didn't know better, but I'm gonna click the fucking button. I was like, should I click this? Nah, we'll have time to click it later. The game's not just gonna shaft me here. I was wrong. It would shaft me. It would do me dirty like that. West Coast, thank you. Lockdown California, got new advanced anti-air, that's great. Navy, we're going after cruisers so I can get the better anti-ship missiles. Then we're going after torpedoes, and yeah, the huge. See how fast this goes if you don't read everything or if you skim it? It's really not that bad. I think for most events, one paragraph is enough. Even gratuitous sometimes. One paragraph. When you have 3, 4 fucking paragraphs, you've gone too far, my dude. You have gone too far. Polls are updated. Oh, okay, our campaigns have gone better this time, so that's fortunate, but really I have no control over that. If I could have made it so that it was a similar result, I would have made it. If I could have just hopped back 2 days, I would have done that. There's the Mustang 2 again. What do we got here? Decision available. Okay, this still hasn't been updated. Great Lakes I wanted to push, but, you know, we had a small lead. We probably didn't lose that lead. That's probably fine. There are 3 toss-ups in the Deep South and a lot of Republican Democrats I could unseat. Let's push the Deep South. Might behoove me to take a look at the Senate seats now that everything's kind of tied up with a bow here, but we'll wait until I get to where I was last time, because that wasn't my focus before it was just president. Okay, we still got that, though a little later than we got it last time, I believe. And grenades options, we're not going to go back on it. Gonna have to cajole this a little bit. I will. Yeah, before going to vote, Alex, make sure it actually has the support. How many fucking votes does it need to win? I'm not clear on that, but we're probably going to have to negotiate with Republicans here, and by probably, I mean definitely. And yeah, I'm picking things largely for the flavor, more so than the actual decision. It's easy to get bills passed if you're, like, clever about it, but... Ooh, uninspired campaign, okay, that's basically how we did in the South last time, so... Oh, how similar! Bum. Bum, bum, bum. Did I didn't do any of these last time. No, I didn't. We're still on the same path. Alright, gotta work with this here. So I said, middle class will decrease. Support for the bill will... Yeah, you know what? That's fine. And now we're not gonna pivot immediately onto this. Though I guess I kind of have to. No, we could spread the cash, do something else for a month, and... Wait, didn't I do... Fighting tyranny since this is gained war support. I want to do something else until I can be sure that the vote will pass. Even if it slows things down. Merchant to death across the burning sands. I have no desire to send mercenaries or aircraft. What does this do? South African War. New advisor units can integrate near seamlessly. You know what? No. You know what? Let's go fighting tyranny since 1776. When our great nation declared its independence, it was a statement against the tyranny of foreign masters who would trample the rights of the little man. When our noble forebears conceived and embraced the Monroe Doctrine, it was an assertion of our might, our purpose, and our goal in protecting our whole hemisphere from old world domination. In the 1940s, we failed. As vilest tyranny imaginable descended upon Eurasia, our complacent, elitist leaders failed to prepare us for the coming storm, and then cowardly tried to step out of the wars until they arrived at our doorstep. Thousands upon thousands of young American men bled on the fields of England for a war that was already lost. Our naval might shattered at Pearl Harbor due to an administration that couldn't see the warnings. Our garrisons of Marines murdered, captured, brutalized. Squads in squalid conditions by the Japanese. Foul conspiracy of the Japanese and Germans to drop their doomsday weapon on Oahu. America suffered terribly, but our suffering is but a fraction of that of the untold millions laboring under fascist tyranny. Europe may be beyond its salvation, but in Asia, we mayhaps, come on, man. Get this mayhaps out of here. This literally doesn't add anything to the sentence. We may still have a chance. This is like saying we may have a chance. Mayhaps is a form of may and have. We mayhaps a chance. That's correct. But may happen. No, fuck off. Fuck you. It's bad, and you should feel bad. All right, what do we got here? Campaigning. All right, so California still looks like a minor lead. East Coast is locked down. Great Lakes still small lead. NPP. Toss up. Deep South, Upper South, Southwest. Yep, that's not surprising. Deep South, Upper South, Southwest have been problematic for us before. We have a strong lead in the East Coast. We have small leads in New England. Strong lead in the Great Plains. Small lead, strong lead. Yeah, so it's really just the Deep South. 3 toss-up in the Deep South. What are we looking at? Deep South has 3 toss-up. Yeah, Deep South is probably where I should keep hammering. Deep South and what? Upper South? Yep. Hit them where it hurts. Waiting for this to hit 100, and then I'll give it the old try. But we're not passing that until I'm sure it'll actually pass. It may take a while. It may take the better part of a year, but I will wait that long. instead of just running headlong into it without realizing what the fuck I was accidentally doing. Yeah, let's get this. It's not naval improvement, but shh, it's okay. It's okay. Oh god, we're gonna have to do that Navy refitting horse shit again. Yeah, but you know what? This time I'm gonna wait until we actually have everything ready. Then I'll flip over. Alright, here we go. 100. I can... Wow, yeah, only 7 Democrats. We gotta talk to the Democrats. Get their support here. I need most or all of the Democrats. So if I have to save up and get the far right and on this, I guess I'll have to. Because this is gonna pass. I don't fail bills here. Domestic preparedness. Brothers in arms. This will lead us down to strengthening our alliance. The OFN will get stronger. Okay. What will this do? Ooh, this has political power. Yep, we're going for Feed the Beast. Domestic preparations. When the National Progressive Party was elected, the American people spoke with one thunderous voice, tearing down the entrenched elites, embracing a righteous campaign against the Japanese menace. Wherever it is to be found, at least that's what the National Party's National Committee chairman claimed at the last convention. Reality, our victory was narrower than we'd like. Many of our voters supported us for progressive domestic agenda rather than a campaign of vengeance. Many party leadership still see it as a core of our platform. In addition to many of the former Dixiecrats of the party are openly sympathetic to isolationist stances and only pay lip service to containing Japan. Now have a difficult choice ahead, promptly reinstating the draft and enacting war preparation measures to ensure our nation is protected against the many foreign threats, and readily act swiftly, like a pouncing eagle, or to try to gradually build support for these things through a fierce media campaign while optimizing our industry for wartime production. The latter is popular, but slow, and may leave us unready for a major conflict. The former, the opposite. No matter your political leanings, all recent conversation at the Capitol invariably turns to the same subject. President Michael Harrington's announcement that the United States would seek to revise post-war modus vivendi with the Empire of Japan. The policy pronouncement, though vague, has been a central policy plank of the National Progressive Party since its formation. Although the administration has remained tight-lipped on concrete initiatives, this has only encouraged the imagination of political class in Washington. Members of the MPP congressional delegation could be heard throughout the week speculating on America's newfound foreign policy, ranging from doubling military and financial aid to the Organization of Free Nations to actively destabilize the co-prosperity sphere via its many restive insurgencies, while stressing the ultimate decision lies with the president. Senior MPP figures emphasized that all options remain on the table. Members of the Republican-Democrat Party have expressed skepticism towards the president's confrontational foreign policy, viewing the endeavor as naive adventurism. Senior Republican-Democrat policy aide, who asked not to be named, panned the MPP policy as dangerously reckless, with little consideration for de-escalation. It's all fun and games, they remark, until the nukes fly. Ooh, decrease in poverty. Thanks to grid, we have dropped from 25 to 10 to 15% poverty. That is great. National Progressive Party is holding presidential convention in Miami Beach, Florida once again, with delegates from all corners of America arriving at the convention center to kick off the general election. Normally, the president's sitting party would easily breeze through the primary season and be acclaimed at the convention, stretching late into the evening. Before a result was announced, Michael Harrington. Oh yeah, buddy. Solid MPP campaign in the Deep South, all right. This is why I want to win senators that aren't from the Deep South, because they suck, and we can't count on them. Polls have been updated. All right, we'll take a look at that. I assume... Wow, we only got 10 of the 27? Well, that's something. So we're going to have to go to the far right here. That sucks. 1972 Republican-Democrat primaries. Primaries and caucuses are over, and now over 1,000 delegates from every state and territory of the Union are converging on Miami Beach Convention Center, the eponymous city in Florida. This year, the fight fight it boiled down to a two-horse race between former Secretary of Defense, Ford Motor Company executive Robert McNamara, and South Dakota Senator George McGovern. McNamara, whose only government post was Secretary of Defense, seeks to bring business efficiency to governing, represents the most mainstream opinion of the Republican Democrat Party as a moderate Democrat, while McGovern is staunchly liberal Republican. His unofficial slogan of acid amnesty abortion has become the what an amazing platform, has become divisive across the nation, is posing a major question to the delegates at the convention. McGovern claims he can take some of the votes of the MPP center wing, forging a new coalition that can expand Americans' progressive future, while McNamara supporters are claiming McGovern would destroy the Republican Democrat Party, hand another victory to the National Progressive Party. I know who I'm picking. However, questions between options still abound. McGovern too far left-wing to hold the Republican Democrats together. Is McNamara's business experience a boon or hindrance? Many Republican Democrats are expressing dismay that these are the only viable options they have this time, raising concerns of lack of support and fracturing of party unity. But results of the final ballot are announced, and the winner is George McGovern. All right, we can campaign. How we doing? Still no strong lead in the West Coast, but I'll take it. We have 4 toss-ups in the Deep South, so I should absolutely push that. The Rockies, we have a strong lead on a lot of these. We could try to nab South Dakota. Deep South has 3. Oh no, Upper South now has 4 seats. Though we have 2 of them, we really just be locking them down. Well, all the same, let's push for... Let's go in order here. Let's be smart. East Coast, strong. The Great Lakes, small lead. It's not a toss-up, so I'll take it. What's after that? The Deep South is actually after that, with toss-ups and a small lead. You know what? We'll push the Deep South. Deep South has a total of 67 Electoral College votes. So we'll push on that, but it would probably only get us far right individuals, which, you know, it's not exciting. All right, domestic preparedness. Fire up the people. Recruitable population gain. You know, nice, but feed the beast. Get that political power. War needs men. It consumes them with great greed and hungers for more. It's a sad reality of conflict. It's likely any prolonged conflict we would be forced to instate the draft anyway, and were to realize the American dream of freeing the world from tyranny, at least Japanese tyranny, conflict is inevitable. All Americans will have to take part in making the dream a reality, and dancing around it only puts our precious liberty and aspirations further at risk. The draft must be reinstated, and better now while we're at relative peace so people get used to it than when our country is already bleeding and struggling in war. Let's set up a task force with the Pentagon and Census Department to determine our drafting capabilities and begin constructing factories to produce kits for a greatly expanded military machine. Some luck, a bit of domestic discontent now, will mean a quick and relatively painless war in the future, as our superior numbers and technology will overwhelm our foes with shock and awe. Better protest now than draft riots when the Japanese are shelling the Golden Gate. Domestic preparedness, the devil of policy formulation was in the details. As the cabinet drafted the outline for America's industrial strategies to support any future war with Japan, 2 distinct schools of thought had emerged. One, championed by Secretary of Defense, advocates for the expansion of military infrastructure and production capacity. The legacy of President Joseph Kennedy's failure to build up America's military continues to haunt the Pentagon. Proponents of this plan argue build-up of military equipment needed to support a future war must start today, even at the expense of other industrial or economic priorities. They warn that ultimately America will go to war with the military it has, rather than the military it wants. Secretary of Commerce takes a different tack, arguing it would foster the growth of American civilian industrial base would yield accelerating dividends in the longer run. Wholesale diversion of American industry into military production, they argue, would be monstrously inefficient, create a hyper-militarized economy like that of Germany or Japan. A nation of free men enslaved to guns. Even if it would take time to shift civilian factories' military production in a crisis, America remains protected by the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, buying time to bring American industry to bear. We're going with industry, baby, because I'm already good on guns. I'm actually good. Only 0.4 per day. Yeah, the oil crisis is really fucking with me here. We might get... I'm worried we won't get 100 political power by the end of the election cycle here. Which means we're not going to pass that fucking bill. So I might just have to spin my wheels for a while. Hate that. Hate that. But that's what you get for choosing the options you chose, Alex. You done made this bed, now you gotta lie in it. Uninspired MPP campaign in the Deep South, that's unsurprising. Alright, tell you what, next I'm gonna look at what Senate seats I can probably nab elsewhere. Pump the gas. Spinning cogs. Okay, do any of these give political power? Ready for battle wood. Eyes on the boards. That gives 10. God, that's it's fucking nothing. This would. Do any of these get political power? Nope, nope, nope. Nope. I mean, some of the decisions might, but seemingly no. So we're gonna go ready for battle. Believe you me, I'd rather just finish this, but right now we don't have the votes. We don't have the votes. And so I'm going to have to talk to the far right. And for that, I'm going to need more political power. Now, I could just spin our wheels for a month and not research anything, but I'd rather just, you know, do two things at once. Get better factory output for 2 years, or I guess I have to do both. Let's pump the gas, get more military factories. Our military industry is performing insufficiently. Japanese can draw upon industrial strength and resources of an entire continent. Full force of American industrial might be put to use against them. While our preparations for the draft ensured an uptake in infantry equipment production, we still need to beat the Japs in the air and on the sea, not just ensure our brave GIs have the support they need of tanks, artillery, and vehicles. Over the last few weeks, a number of politicians and generals have approached our administration with ideas of a vast aid package for the military-industrial complex. The government funding construction of new arms plants in return for our increased control over production. While they're probably paid off for the promises of cushy board positions and their retirement from office, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. Let's drop a bill to support our proud American weapons companies, bringing prosperity to our lands by putting weapons in our hands. Gross. But you know what? If it works, if it'll give me political power, we'll go down that tree. If it can stave off the failure of a bill, I will stave off the failure of a bill. Alright. Presidential election, I think, is kind of locked down at this point. We have one, maybe two more of these that I can try. So I'm looking at seats right now. Republican Democrats have a lead in South Dakota. Great Lakes, we should be fine. We have the Southwest, Upper South, Deep South. Deep South is 3 toss-up, 4 toss-up in the Upper South. I think I'm gonna push the Upper South. Yeah, just to try. See what I can get here. I'm hoping the Upper South won't all be fascists, but well, they're not fascists. They're just authoritarian Democrats. I don't even know what I just clicked through right there. Something popped up. I said okay without reading it. Habit. It's a bad habit. We'll have September, October, so I might get one more, but if it'll be done by November 1st is an entirely different question altogether. That's finishing. These are all wrapped up insofar as I care to research them. Navy, well, I guess we can just move on to the boats themselves, unless there's some 73 tech I should be keeping my eyes open for. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. All right, well, let's start getting some bigger, better boats. Specifically, the battleships. Pump the gas. Cogs in the machine. Government has extensive powers over private industries in the case of national emergencies. With a bit of creative interpretation of these laws, we can encourage heavy industries to optimize production lines for potential wartime needs. Like a scout, an American should always be prepared. Boost factory output by 2% for the next 2 years. Not much, but certainly something. Focus on, okay, where the fuck are these focuses? I never want to see that again. Ah, yes, see this? Never tell me about this. Never tell me about any of this. I never want to do any of these. Maybe, no, not even rush militarization. I'm good. 1972 election debates, McGovern versus Harrington. While urban machines exchanged deals for votes and committees arranged donation drives and canvasses as they always had, America's voting public spectated the quadrennial tradition's most recent addition to the comfort of homes the nation over. At the Walnut Street Theater in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Republican-Democrat candidate George McGovern engaged his national progressive counterpart Michael Harrington in the first of a series of televised presidential debates covering topics both foreign and domestic. Below is an excerpt from their heated debate that night. Mr. President, I'll be frank, your neglect of the OFN toes the line between disrespect and criminality. You decry foreign entanglements it invites without considering its other purpose. That is, to nurture the world's free nations as they can stand on their own 2 feet. Mustn't dawdle over unseen Americas while the free world languishes in plain sight. A balance has to be struck somehow. I know a balance exists. If only you had endeavored to seek it. You perhaps a man of scripture, Senator? The way of sinners is made plain with stones, but the end thereof is a pit of hell. I speak for an America that has lost its appetite for senseless adventures abroad, tying ourselves further to those who ask of it no better than laying down the stones that would lead to bloodlettings we've witnessed in South Africa, Indonesia, and Arabia. I assure you that America will someday cast its full gaze towards oppressed people beyond our borders, but not now. Not while so many of our own clamor for freedom still. Side with Harrington. You know, Harrington's he was alive in recent history. I could just look up what he sounded like and imitate him, but nah. Acclaimed director Francis Ford Coppola's newest, biggest feature film, The Godfather, has struck like lightning at theaters across America. Based on Mario Puzo's best-selling crime novel of the Mario Puzo's It's-a Me, Mario. Same name, The Godfather, tells the story of the Corleone family, of New York City's most powerful organized crime syndicates. Its Don, Vito Corleone, is an honorable and respected Sicilian immigrant. His position among New York's 5 families, though, is threatened by his growing heroin trade. This conflict spirals into a bloody gang war which claims Sonny, Vito's eldest child. After Vito promises to end the war, his second son Michael, a veteran of Scotland, begins to take control of the Corleone Empire. 1955, Vito dies and Michael exacts his revenge on the 5 families in a vicious series of assassinations, establishing his status as a new godfather of the mafia. Godfather has garnered rave reviews. Critics around the country are praising performances of the legendary Marlon Brando as Vito, a budding young Al Pacino as Michael. Others, having acclaimed the score, editing, and themes of immigration and family, seeing it as a parable for America's complicated relationship to Italy. Many are already calling The Godfather the best film of 1972. It would seem Mr. Coppola has made Hollywood an offer that it can't refuse. Solid MPP campaign in the Upper South. Hopefully it's enough to swing 1 seat to the MPP. Maybe it won't be. It probably won't be, but you gotta play the game. Can't win if you don't play. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get another one done by the end of November. Yep. I'm gonna fucking try, but I think that was our last one. Deep South, we have a lead in Alabama, but they have a lead in Arkansas and Florida. It's a toss-up in Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, but we're leading in South Carolina. New England's all small lead. East Coast, strong lead. Upper South is all a toss-up. Southwest is a toss-up except for Texas, where we could put in some pressure to try to rip that from the Republican Democrats. Great Plains, the Republican Democrats have a small lead there. I'd rather lock down either California or the Great Lakes. So you know what? Let's see, West Coast, we have both of those. Great Lakes, we have both of those. Great Plains, we can take 2 seats from the Democrats, looks likely. Looks like we're taking 3 from the Democrats here. Oklahoma, we could take one from the Democrats. And New Mexico's a toss-up. So, you know what? Let's push the Southwest. We might be able to sway Texas. I really doubt it. But if we could, that'd be huge. And if I could keep New Mexico, that's an incumbent seat I'd like to keep. And if we can rip the Democrats out and put in people from the Populist Party, I'm all for it. Rosie the Riflewoman. We're facing down one of the world's largest empires. The Japanese control over 1 billion people in their sphere. They can field a massive army were war to break out. Though we're a large nation in our own right, we struggle to find enough manpower to meet our defense needs. Perhaps it's time to think outside the box and consider whether manpower is really what we need. President Michael Harrington will introduce a Women's Occupational Military Equality Normalization Act in Congress. This act will open combat roles to women for the first time in history. While some roles will see this as an erosion of traditional gender roles, this bill has potential to unite warhawks and progressives to create a grander and more egalitarian fighting force. Oh shit, another bill's going to Congress. As if one of those weren't enough. This might pass. This is going to pass. 25 of our party supported, 11 Democrats. There are 3 Democrats, 11 Republicans. 19 of the far right, so that's, what, 36, 38, 48, 57. 57 votes, that should pass. I think you need 51. Italy has acquired nuclear weaponry. The Italian government announced earlier today they successfully tested an atomic bomb earlier this week in the Sahara Desert. Furthermore, Italians have used the news to announce the expansion of the Italian nuclear program. News has shocked the entire world as the Italians seem nowhere near to acquiring nuclear weaponry. The ascension of Italy to a nuclear state is something that would drastically impact foreign relations with the rest of the world. Italy's former friends in the triumvirate must now tread carefully around their former ally, and America and Japan will most likely treat the Italians as an equal. The unspoken elephant in the room, however, is the German Reich. Two powers have always had a cold relationship, with Italians acquiring the atomic bomb. It's clear the German-Italian relations will become even more tense than before. Seems the Cold War is doomed to escalate even further. So the clock moves closer to midnight. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, improved oil processing, and we almost have 100 political power to try to throw some votes together from the far right. On my newest legislature, let's get some better submarines. Let's get some better aircraft carriers. Am I actually going to build any? I don't fucking know, but it's something to research. Alright, there we go. That's 100. The Women Act is not what I want to talk about. Did the Women Act replace the other one? Excuse you? Okay, maybe it'll reappear. I don't, okay. Reports have been flooding out of Cologne, the industrial heart of the German Reich, where just hours ago it was reported that Reich Minister Huel, German Minister of Foreign Affairs, is found dead alongside his wife Wanda, inside the warehouse in a small town in the city. Mr. and Mrs. Huel were reported missing 2 weeks prior to their discovery after their home in an upscale Cologne neighborhood had been broken into. Terrorist faction known as the Red Army faction has taken responsibility for the killings, citing suppression and tyrannical action by Führer Bormann's administration as their justification. This turn of events has thrown the German Reich into turmoil, with weeks of violent protests across the Reich having been put down just days before the kidnappings of the minister and his wife. Uh-oh, Germany. Looks like you made a fucky-wucky. But I may have too, so I can't really talk. Sorry, who was that? Oh. The Siberian Free Territory won! Good for you! Calamitous MPP campaign. Alright, think we probably lost New Mexico. Ooh. We're down to 19 Social Democrat senators? I don't like that. What the fuck? Yeah, we lost 6 seats. God, this is misleading. When it says you have a small lead, what that means is you're gonna lose it. They defended all of their seats in the Deep South. Yeah, we lost a lot here. We won the presidency, but we lost a lot of Senate seats. I shouldn't trust this fucking thing. I did it again. God damn it. That's important enough to read. Fucking hell. Hey, maybe we'll have more than 19 seats when this is over. Find out, huh? The election results will almost assuredly be exactly the same. No, they won't, because the fucking mechanics of this mod all work on percentiles, so it'll probably be different, as a matter of fact. Well, Calamitous Campaign, that ended up exactly the same way. Let's see, do I have 19? Yep, no, this went exactly the same way. Okay, so maybe it isn't as flippant as I thought, but this is still really frustrating. Everything that was player-facing was like, you should do fine, and then the reality was like, you're fucked. Like, okay. More than a year after the announcements, debates and speeches and rallies have come to an end on the 7th of November, 1972, with Election Day. Millions of Americans have lined up at school gymnasiums, libraries, civil centers, and fire stations across the nation to fulfill their civic and democratic duty. Harrington won. We don't need to read this entire fucking thing. Harrington won. We lost some seats. Don't like that. Intersectional imperialism. After securing its passage in the Senate through a bipartisan coalition, President Harrington signed the Women's Occupational Military Equality and Normalization Act to resounding applause. The act bars the armed forces from discriminating against potential recruits on the basis of sex. This grants women the legal right to serve in all military occupations, including combat roles. Upon signing the act, President Harrington remarked, "Some see me as a dove. My heart is inclined towards peace. I'm also a strong supporter of gender equality. Unfair prohibition of women entering combat roles has been a black stain on the military, and I'm overjoyed to finally rectify this inequity. By signing this bill, our government will usher in a new progressive era in our armed forces. I can only hope this outlook trickles down to civil society as well." Now tell me, did this nix the prior bill that we had? Because that's a problem if it did. I think it did. Fuck this mod. Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and have them vote, I guess? Shit's broke, dude. Shit's very broken. Okay, lesson learned. Don't have two of those going at one time because one will just delete the other. And that 100 political power I spent doesn't exist anymore. Right, like, I'm sure about that. Yep. You know what? Let's increase party unity. Why not? It's the only way I could possibly impact it right now. That's irritating. That's very irritating. Okay, if we fail this... God, am I gonna just do this whole year over again? I don't know. I don't know, maybe... Bugs happen, right? And I probably should have realized it was the intent of the mod that you not have two bills in Congress at the same time, because they kind of made it clear that that was the intent by not allowing you to do two other kinds of bills at the same time. I just figured, because I could pass this, that it wasn't bugged. But what it was is that this should have a check to make sure you're not already doing one, and it didn't. Senate elections are in. Harrington has been reelected. Yeah, the bill has been voted down. I disagree. Alright, we're doing this shit all over again. Fuck. Oh, God. Normally I'd put in a cut here and try to pretend like we didn't just do this year 2 times in a row, but no, I'm not playing. I'm not. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna pretend like we're not suffering through another hour and a half of this together. Round 2. Speedier this time. Try to not pause. What focuses? What focuses? What pause. Hold up. Ah. Maybe I should just avoid the food stamps altogether this time around. I mean, fucking maybe. Yeah, probably. Because it's wildly unpopular and I didn't realize it was unpopular. Now that I know it's unpopular, now that I know that the shit's broken, you know what? Yeah, this time I'm not doing it. Not doing it this time. I'm not repeating the same thing. I was willing to give it another go, but then it stripped away the support I had put into it by just overriding my UI so I couldn't see how it was going. I wouldn't have forced it through if I thought I still had to pump more political power into it, but I couldn't pump more political power into it because the UI letting me do that went away because I inadvertently exposed the bug. Didn't realize I did. It's on me. That's on me. This time around we focus on getting strong support, not trying to swing other votes. Yep. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Wow, and I just let this fly by for a while. Okay, small weeds in New England. Fuck the deep south, fuck the upper south. Southwest matters. I want to walk down New England. Let's see, we got 4 in New England. 5 in the Great Plains. Let's go for the Great Plains. We can get a couple Republicans. We can get a couple Democrats. Let's go for the Great Plains on this push. We're not doing the Deep South. I learned my lesson. The Deep South is hell, and you should just never bother with it. I mean, I guess I already knew that, but I was hoping that I might be able to play around with it a little bit, tackle abusive policies, establish the Job Corps. Now, maybe I should do exactly the same thing we did last time, just so I don't... Yeah, I should. Because it's just the direction we were going in. I might as well, right? But I might do it in a different order, and by that I mean I'm doing it in a different order. We are going to pass the legislation burp in the other tree first, because I know that passes, and we get political power from that tree that I can then invest in the other tree in welfare. So we're gonna go over to the expansionist tree first, and then pivot back. If a lot of this were the result of bad play on my part, I wouldn't be so, I wouldn't be resetting. But because this is me running into bugs, I'm being a bit obstinate, alright? I am being a bit of a sore loser about it, and you know what? I can live with that. I can absolutely live with that. I can make peace with that. Absolutely. Ooh, decisions available. Where do we campaign next? Well, we should go to California. Alright, we won the popular vote in a landslide, so I'm ignoring that this time. We have a small lead in 2 seats in the West Coast. Democrats have 3 seats in the Rockies that we might be able to push away from them. I mean, the Democrats are our enemy more than the Republicans are. Typically, like 50% of Republicans, I can get to do whatever the fuck I want. Last time we lost some of these in New England. New England only has a weak lead, so let's shore up support in New England. I keep being fooled by this small lead horseshit. If you are the incumbent and you have a small lead, your seat is actually in danger. It doesn't look like it is. The text doesn't say that it is, but it do be that way, though. Fair enough. Fair enough. Polls have been updated. Great. Take a look at those when they're relevant. Fighting tyranny. Great. Domestic preparedness. MPP fights for America. Get some of that political power I so desperately want. And need if I'm to push through those unpopular reforms that I'm insistent upon pushing through. It's silly that they're unpopular reforms. Well, they're unpopular with politicians. They're popular with the people. Uninspired campaign. You hate to see it. Mustang 2. Alright, this time the election's going worse than last time. It's interesting, I'm not seeing the Republican Democrats results this time around, which is, I guess, not all that surprising. But they might be bugged and not be campaigning at all, and I'm still managing to lose to them. But based on my isolation of Americans through my policies. What is available here? This is probably campaigning. Yep. Let's see, Great Lakes has a bunch of small leads. I'd really like to hold on to the Great Lakes. Only has 2 seats up, though. I was pushing the Great Plains. We have a strong lead in Minnesota, weak lead in Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota. I think we push Great Plains. I know, generally it's better just to stick in 2 areas. This real life, this your fantasy, killed the fucking Republican Democrats? Not yet. Not yet. I've restarted this fucking year 3 times because of... bugs is a... bug. One annoying bug that lost me a shit ton of political power and made it impossible for me to pass something. So it just constantly failed. The first time it failed because I didn't realize the mechanic worked the second way. The second time it failed because the UI fucked off and wouldn't let me invest more political power into it. So now the third time we're going through this year, hoping that it works properly and I don't have to fuck with it again. Because I swear to God, I don't want to do this a 4th time. If it fails this time, I may rage quit. not like actually mad, but no, Alex. I hate that fucking menu. I hate these goddamn decision menus so much. I want to click the don't notify me button. And I slipped, and I clicked the other button. Network error. Buddy, it feels like there's a network error. Twitch, you sure about that? Oh, shit. Yep. And, Comcast is... installing shit. So the network dropped at 10:30 a.m. I'm getting really goddamn tired of this. Just because I'm paying like $80 a month for this shitty intermittent service. And it'd been fine before they started working on it recently. Oh shit, the Great Plains really where I wanted to go. Well, I clicked it. And that quick, I'll stick with misclick. Great Plains? Yeah, I did want to push there. Okay. What I want to do here, we did this. And when this focus finishes, I want to not click the militarization button. I want to click the tiny circle off to the left-hand side of it. Okay, what do we pull up here to F5? Twitter will keep auto-refreshing until it's actually up. So let's pull up Twitter. Feed the beast. Bam, bam. Alright. Go over here. Pump the gas, because we did it in that order last time, and that was actually a mistake. Wanted to click this, not that. Yeah, put the don't notify me thing and the spend all of your political power thing right next to each other. What could go wrong? How could that possibly backfire? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, maybe we should make the user interface a bit more friendly. Maybe not, Jimmy. We should just make the user interface as obtuse as possible. Fuck the end user. How about that, Jimmy? Oh, wow, that's kind of harsh. Well, that's life, Jim. That's life. I'm putting in the time for like 2.5 years into this one fucking year. Now, I think it's fair that in some small part I am losing it. All right, New England, we still have... We have strong leads everywhere in New England. We have strong leads in the East Coast. We have a strong lead. We have 2 weak leads in the Great Lakes. Great Plains, we have 4 small leads. 4 small leads in the Rockies. I should really push the Rockies because those are 3 Democrats. Yep. Unless there's a 5 small leads somewhere. Great Plains has 5, actually. What am I talking about? No, it has a strong lead. Yep, pushing the Rockies. Okay, I'm like, fuck, what other event was there? Is it twerking? It's not twerking. Pump the gas. All right, pump the gas. Be done. Cogs in the machine. In the machine. Cogs in the machine. Okay, very careful, Alex. Click this. Not that. You could have put this on the other side of this, so they're not right next to each other. This isn't on you, mod authors. This is on Paradox. This is... Granted, Paradox probably didn't initially envision that you'd just be spamming these events like this mod does, but, like, come on. Intensify persuasion efforts. Maybe I'd love to, but you know what? Not right now. I would love to, but that's not what we're saving this up for. I need at least 200 political power to get this unpopular fucking thing through Congress. Poverty's decreased again. Love to see it. Primaries, hello, Michael Harrington. Okay, that looks useful. That's back up. Great. Now we stop streaming and we wait a minute. Network error. Yes, then we start streaming. Failed to connect to server. What if not failed to connect to server? There we go. There we go. And now we wait for the up speed to actually up. And Can has internet. Oh my god. This session. Let's try my patience. But you know what? I'm in a good fucking mood. You know why I'm in a good goddamn mood? Because Donald goddamn Trump has got COVID-19. I hope he chokes and dies, and it is fucking a good day. Last night was an amazing time to be online. Leftist Twitter was just a blast. The streams last night from leftists that I follow were hilarious. I'm not being mad about this. I'm not being bad about an hour and a half of my time just recycling the same year 2.5 times because of weird UI shit. Nope, not gonna let it bother me. McGovern, you're in, buddy. You're gonna lose. That's okay. We're not getting tilted by this. On another day, maybe, probably, I'd be mad. I'll be honest, I've wanted to just quit. When the first time we ran into, whoops, Alex, looks like you had a fucky wucky, I was like, well, you know, it's a real shame I didn't stream or record today. Just shut everything down, but at this point, I'm resigned to it. Oh, fuck, did I let this go? There's a toss-up in the Great Plains in South Dakota. Don't like that. But again, let's focus on the Senate, because the Senate's where I really need support. I wouldn't bat an eye if Melania makes it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she makes it. If Boris Johnson survived, Trump will probably survive, but I hope he doesn't. And it's very exciting to hear that Trump and the other infected individuals made contact with a great number of individuals in the White House, the Senate, and majority of minority leaders. Oh, God. Sword of Damocles. Come on, just please. I'm not a praying person, but you know what? I can be persuaded. We have a strong lead in 2 states, 3 states in the Great Plains, small lead in 1, toss-up in 1. So that's 2, basically, I get out of the Great Plains. I have a strong lead in 3 in the Rockies. So only 1 in the Rockies, 2 in the West Coast, 2 in the Great Plains, 2 in the Great Lakes. Honestly, I'm going for Great Lakes, if that's it. Republican Democrats have a lead in the Southwest. I want to push the Southwest. Because it's a far-right incumbent. I actually don't care about the far-right incumbent. If they lose a seat and it goes to Democrats, it's actually good for me. So let's not bother with Deep South, Southwest. I mean, we could potentially lose New Mexico, but fuck them. We have a strong lead in the East Coast, strong lead in New England. Don't need the Deep South, don't need the Upper South, don't need the Southwest. So that leaves us Great Lakes that we could push to. Great Plains, where we could push to. Let's push Great Lakes, just to keep those votes. All right, Great Lakes, Great Plains, West Coast are my options. West Coast, Great Lakes, Great Plains. Great Lakes looks good. Great Plains, there's a toss-up. West Coast, small lead in 4. I don't give a shit about this. I care about California. Great Lakes is important all the time, and continuing to make that a stronghold is important. He's might die because he's too prideful to take care of himself. Yeah, I mean, the White House, God, I imagine they would go to extreme ends to keep him or any other president alive. So, short of a bullet, I don't think he's gonna die in office unless he continues to have health problems. And he has health problems. Even if his physician has lied to the public about it, his physician is under no obligation to tell the public the truth. Just like with FDR, the public, it was an open secret that he had mobility issues, but it's not our business. I mean, it's sort of our business if it interferes with their ability to administer the affairs of the state, but I mean, honestly, we're lied to by our government all the time. You know, would that be so different? Okay, this bill's still gonna pass. Yep. Women in the military, hell yeah, brother. Okay, new national focus. We are going for ready for battle. Then we're gonna pivot back down here, do the fucking food stamp program, even if it's wildly unpopular. I think I can force it through. Or Alex, or we can just go through this and do it more optimally. I don't know. Fund the Skunk Works. During the last war, the Skunk Works project was named Lockheed Martin's P-80 fighter development program. Due to the foul smell of the workshop, since Skunk Works has come to refer to any secret or semi-secret project developed by a private company that's bound for normal organization and budgetary restrictions of the company, we create a special grant for businesses that create Skunk Works. We can encourage more corporations to do secret projects for us and create a more decentralized military research model. It'd be harder for Japanese spies, or German ones for that matter, to infiltrate, steal, or sabotage. Yeah, now we can send women to die too. You know, it's not a feel-good thing, but I'm doing this tree to get political power so we can push through progressive reforms. Solid MPP campaign, alright, that's pretty alright. Middle class still hate me. Bourgeois still hate me. Working class dislike me. The rest of America love me. Yeah, so we're maybe just focus on one trait at a time. I'd really love to be able to increase persuasion efforts and just focus on, you know, making the American people like me and not this goddamn re-election campaign. But really, it's the Senate votes that are the trouble right now. The Senate votes are what I'm worried about maintaining and possibly expanding, because last time we lost 6 fucking seats because the UI is like, oh, you have a small lead, and I took that as if, all right, I'm gonna win, but not by much. No, what it means is you have like a 60% chance to win. A toss-up looks like it's a 50-50. A small chance to lead looks like it's a like 60-40 or a 66-33. A strong lead looks like it's a 75 or a 90%, or it could be 100, it could be 75, 50, 25. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but goddamn, the randomization in this mod is infuriating sometimes. Ready for battle. We've done everything we can to prepare a nation for the Japanese hordes. Yikes. Our factories are roaring with production, spitting out an endless stream of supplies. Millions of men and 10,000s of women fill our ranks. Dockyards are working overtime to produce warships, and storage tanks are filled with millions of gallons of fuel. Establishment press may whine and you may see the odd student protest, but the important thing is that our nation has been forged in the steel fist with which to smash the prosperity sphere. The Emperor must be shaking in his kimono in the capital of his evil empire. Let us immediately review our plans, take back what is rightfully ours, and get... And where to go from there. There we go. Like, I lost my place. Okay. 2 weeks in the West Coast. 4 strong leads in the Rockies. 1 toss-up, 1 week in the Great Plains. Probably going for Great Plains. 2 small leads in the Great Lakes, but that hasn't been upgraded yet. Updated, and we did well there, so... we have a strong lead, strong lead, strong lead. Yep, Great Plains. Great Plains it is. Yeah, get rid of the term limits. Get rid of elections. Just do this nice and easy. Democracy's overrated. No, no. It's a fun and interesting system. But holy shit is it frustrating when it does quirky things. Alright, people side with Harrington. This is, to be fair, I really like the flavor of this year, and it feels bad that I'm just speeding over it the second time. But no, we read it earlier. Italy still has nuclear weapons. No one-party state. One-party states is a bad time. No, Daddy Stalin, no. No, no. I don't want a one-party state, Uncle Joe. That's too bad, comrade. You will see the error of your ways in this re-education facility. But what about democracy? Oh, you can vote. You can vote for me. Okay. I can rally the center, far right, and extremists. Wow, I haven't seen that in a while. Where the fuck is that even? What? Oh. Neat. Not doing it. God. I'd love to do either of those, but you know what? Nope, that's not what I did. Okay. So what I was trying to do was not piss off the middle class more. And all this did was piss off the middle class more. So, no. No, I will not do that. Okay. This will introduce the Social Security Act. This will piss off the middle class and the rich. What will this do? This will piss off the rich. This will increase public fatigue. You know, honestly, public fatigue is looking like the best option right now, given what I'm looking at. Godspeed, CPU. Fuck it. The issue of higher education. Let's do this. They say that a reward for finishing a hard task is to be given a harder task than the last. Such an issue now confronts us. The reform agenda proceeds to the universities of America. The situation is decidedly suboptimal. Haven't I read this before? I've read this before. Oh, I've started on this and then it got canceled because of something else. Well, solid MPP campaign. You'll have to see it. It's October. So that was our last one we're going to get in. Polls have been updated. All right. It don't matter because the polls lie. We will see what the results are in the second week of November. Till then, just keep frantically doing what you were doing, I guess. Better boats. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum. Huel has been murdered yet again. This one we're sticking with. Right, this one we're sticking with because I know what I'm doing. Things are a lot clearer now. I can't blame any kind of mistake on anything. Do not feel misled by the mechanics. I understand what they're telling me now. 2 in the West Coast. I mean, this is going to be too late probably to affect the results, but Great Plains still has a toss-up and a small lead. So, you know what? I'd like to press the Great Plains. It's going to be too late. Oh, you know what? No, Great Lakes still is... See, East Coast are all strong. New England strong. Great Lakes, small lead. Yeah, you know what? Great Lakes. This is probably too late to affect this election, but it should still affect the voters if that's how that works. I don't know how it works. I'm talking out of my ass. I haven't cracked open the mechanics to see what happens. Yep, President Harrington. Okay, that ended the same way. Let's see how the Senate elections went this time. 21 for... What the fuck? I still lost how many goddamn seats? Did I lose more fucking seats? How? What the fuck? Excuse you? Yeah, we lost 4 seats in the center, 2 on the right. How? We lost New Hampshire. Sorry, it was a strong lead, which indicates that you won't lose it, and then we lost it. They defended all of the ones in the Deep South, and they got 2 in the Upper South. Southwest, yeah. Fuck this system. Fuck this election system. Now, at its core, fuck the random mechanics that this mod runs on. This is so frustrating from a player standpoint because it's not like individual pops are voting a certain way and I don't have control over that. What it is it does a random percentile chance. And having a strong lead just means you have a 75% chance on a roll, I think. Ugh. God, that's irritating. That's really fucking irritating. I mean, we still won, and there are more Republicans. How did things shift overall? Republicans I can deal with. Things just got worse. Stayed about the same, honestly. But I really need to steal more seats. It feels like the game is weighted to favor the Republican Democrats. It really does. Because even when playing as the Republican Democrats, it's really hard to lose seats unless I'm intentionally trying to lose them. Oh well, for many of our citizens, the idea of upward mobility is a bad joke. Those born into poor circumstances have very few opportunities to improve their lives. American higher education system is among the best in the world, and yet its doors remain closed in much of our population. Increasing costs of attending college are causing some of the greatest minds in our nation to go squandered. If the American dream is to be truly realized, we must work to assure that college is available to even the poorest of our citizens. A nation can grow only stronger with a higher educated populace. A higher education means better pay and ultimately a better life. From there, we can push into the upper crust, into Yale, Harvard, Cornell. The Ivy League is known worldwide as extremely elite institutions. These most prestigious of schools have been prohibitively expensive, allowing only the wealthy to attend, of course, until now. Do I intensify efforts? Honestly, no. I'm just saving this fucking political power in case I need it for something. Everybody can be pissed off at me so long as I'm getting the votes done. Who gives a shit? Fuck the bourgeois, fuck the middle class. Working class will get over it. The other America, they love me and I'm doing it for them. Fuck them all. Still not over this whole oil crisis thing. I don't know how to mitigate that. I think you just have to wait through it. I honestly don't know. Are there any wars going on right now? No, there aren't. Huh. Alright, better attack submarines. It's almost 1973, and we can enter 1973 with a better outlook. Senate elections are in. Yep, it sucks. Sucks. System is bullshit and lies, but whatever. Tuition issue. Why should a public school system charge a public money to attend? That's the question posed by a recent cover story in The Nation. It's a story which has made its way throughout the White House, and more than a few MPP lawmakers have mentioned it as the Higher Education Act's drafting process rolls on in. It does make sense. The government doesn't charge kindergartners for the privilege of attending their neighborhood school, after all. Numerous progressives are clamoring for a policy change to ensure that college placements are based on merit alone. No student should have to worry about tuition fees at state school. By contrast, every fiscal conservative worth the title has come out of the woodwork to talk about how additional funding would come from someplace else, caught in the middle of the students. But in such a political fight, there's somehow little more than numbers on a page. Really, if you go to Arizona State, maybe we should be paying you. Working class will like me, other America will like me, the rich and middle class will like me less, will increase fatigue. Fuck them. We go hard on these. We go hard on these, we don't compromise. We use political power to push it through, and, you know, if that doesn't work, we lose our fucking minds. Yep, that's it. Now that the question of tuition has been resolved, we're ready to bring the Higher Education Act to the Senate floor. This act sets caps on tuition for all universities, public and private, and expands federal subsidies for college students. The carrot on the end of the stick for universities is increased subsidies to expand student residencies, hire more faculty, and offer more programs for a growing student body. Opponents decry this act as spending billions of taxpayer dollars for kids to get stoned and learn communism from hippie professors. However, President Harrington and his supporters see this act as expanding our intellectual base and enabling many of our families to send their children to university for the first time in history. If the act passes, it will affect a sea of change for academic life, and we're gonna give it a go, but the results of which will be next time. Yep, presidential season is over. I don't know why I'm getting 3 notifications. Hey, it's over. Hey, you won. Hey, here's a flavor of you winning. Numbers don't lie. Once more, President Harrington found himself working diligently on the harrowing work presented in front of him to solve the nation's issues. Even so, one of the first times in his life, the snake continued to crawl into his optimism. Harrington finally put his pen down, offered a small chuckle, saying, "People, fickle, huh?" Before chuckling a bit more. Yet, as the president took time for himself, it always seemed to find another seat. The sound of knocks rang against the door. Does it look like on the front lines, Irving? Harrington asked. As Vice President Howe stepped forward, well, Michael, things are going bad, right? South Rockies are getting disillusioned because I'm growing in fatigue. It's another fatigue event. I get it. I'm just... Not right now. There's too much fucking text in this goddamn mod. I appreciate that they're trying to create a scene, but oh my god, when I had to read through it twice, I just want to end this year. Bam, okay, it's over. Was it a good year? No. We lost a lot of support, despite me engaging with the mechanics, and the UI telling me that we had a strong chance, which in mine meant guaranteed chance, that we'd retain a bunch of seats and get a few others. We instead lost a bunch of seats and didn't get any. I really don't like the Senate mechanics here, because what they say they are and what they do are misleading. It's fine, it's just like, damn dude, that is not a satisfying experience. It's not satisfying at all. Which, you know, I've talked about previously is interesting, right? It's very interesting representation of the ambiguity of political statistics, of polling is an art, that it isn't always accurate, yada yada yada. But in games like this, where I can see, you know, exactly how many people I can put a gun into their hands is a definite number, not as an arbitrary kind of approximation, I should know the exact number of votes. Or the exact which way it's gonna go. Hearts of Iron, Paradox games in general, deal in absolutes. Something will work or it won't work. Mods that introduce, ooh, it's a 50-50, or it's a 36-66, or 33-66. Fuck you. Like, I get that you like the randomization and like, ooh, it's interesting, but it's not when it's built into every core mechanic of this mod. When it's built into every core mechanic, it feels kind of antithetical to the infrastructure and the groundwork that it's built on. If you want to make everything ambiguous, I'm okay with that. I really am. I just want you to make everything else ambiguous. Make everything else arbitrary or approximate. Like, when this is a game that boils down to hard numbers, like, what's your HP? What's your maximum speed? What's your soft and hard attacks? Stuff like that. It's grating to then have half of the game be this mod and be based in the abstract. Now, Hoi 4 already has a lot of RNG bullshit. True, but it's constrained. This mod takes that to a whole nother level. Normally, when I click on a button, like, oh, increase party popularity, it does so by 5% or 10% or like a fixed number. In this mod, it's like, well, who knows? Maybe it'll be 10%, maybe it'll be 1, maybe it'll be -5. Guess we'll find out in 3 months. I'm like, that, what? Well, what the fuck, man? It really strips away the feeling of player agency, and that's deeply uncomfortable and dissatisfying, especially when I'm playing through trying to get a specific result, because if the reason why I'm trying to get this specific result is I like your mod, I like the narrative, I like a lot of the mechanics, and I want to see specific parts of it. If the game is actively fighting me in my ability to see those parts of it, it's a frustrating experience, right? Yeah, I think I'll wrap up this episode with this. I'm gonna keep streaming, but if you're watching this on YouTube, this is it for today. Until tomorrow, toodaloo, take care. See you then, bye-bye.